each one reaching one for Christ. You know, sometimes I've found in my own life, I've heard about Jesus all my life. I come from a church background, and sometimes I'm afraid to tell people about the greatest thing in my life. And I don't know why. Sometimes I'm scared to do that. I think we all are at some time. Sometimes there's a hesitancy, or maybe our own humanness gets in the way. And we forget about God's final commandment to us, which is both our duty, which is both our command, as well as our privilege, and that's to share. I remember how God showed me some things in my own relationship with Him that taught me how to love Him more. There were some times going through life where I didn't quite understand what having a personal relationship with Him meant. And He brought to mind an experience that happened to me when I was much younger. I remember when I was 18 years old, I was going through a time in my life. I was struggling a lot with my self-identity, and I thought I was always right. I was right at that age, where everything I did and said was right. You know what I mean? And I remember the person that brought me into the most conflict with was my father. My father was the head of the household, and he didn't always appreciate my suggestions, and I had a lot of them. I was 18, I had nothing more to know in the whole world. And I remember that as that year wore on, things got worse and worse. And it was during the summer, I got into an argument with my father. I started it. It was over something petty, but I pushed it to the limit. Because I just wanted to prove myself. I wanted to show that I could stand up for myself. And I remember my dad was so frustrated with me. And he came over to me, he put his hand out to put it on my shoulder. And to say, "Steve, what are you doing?" And when he did that, I remember I reached up and I grabbed his arm. And I held it right in his face. I had never done that to my dad before. And I felt strong. I felt like I had stood up to my father, like I had succeeded. I had finally made my own decision. And I remember my father, because he looked at me for a second, and then tears came to his eye. He dropped his hand away and he walked out the door. He left me standing there, and all those feelings that I had just had disappeared, because I realized that I had hurt a person that cared so much about me, was only looking out for my good. And I remember that day I went out and I found my father, and I apologized to him. You know, something happened in our relationship. We became more than just a father and son. We became friends. It was such an important time in my life, and I remember God brought that back to mind a couple of years ago when I was struggling with what a personal relationship meant. He goes, "Steve, think of it this way. I'm your Father in heaven, and I reach out to give you the very best things. And sometimes when I do that, you say no, and you reject me. And because I'm a God of mercy and grace, I will let you do that." But he goes, "Steve, when you come back to me, when you realize your place with me," he goes, "then I can give you so much more." And something happens in my relationship with God. He's not just a big God up in the sky, but He's my friend. The Lord showed that to me, and it helped to change so many of my ideas about who God was. Maybe tonight there are a few of you here that have never made a decision for Christ. Maybe you've come to church, maybe you've come to this concert tonight and wondered why. Why do these people have something? What are they talking about? Well, I want you to know if you've never made a decision that you can do that tonight. I'd like to share with you how you can do that. It says in the Bible that we have all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. When God made man, he created him to have fellowship with him. But because of man's sin and disobedience, he created a wall, a separation between himself and God. Because God is a perfect God. But God sent his Son, Jesus Christ, who came to the earth and died on the cross, and took those very sins which separated us from him and placed them on his own back. And by doing that, he becomes our mediator. And that allows us to come to God. What he asks us to do is to make a decision for him, to commit our lives to him. If you have never done that tonight, this is a perfect evening to make the decision. Can you bow your heads and close your eyes with me? As you do, I'm going to repeat a short prayer. There's nothing extra special about the words of this prayer, but it is a prayer of commitment. And if you mean it with all of your heart, it is a decision that can change your life tonight. Pray with me now. Dear God, I realize tonight that I'm a sinner. I know there is no way that I can come to you but through Jesus. I ask you, Jesus, to come into my life. Take away my sin and help me to live for you. Thank you for coming into my life. In your name I pray. With all your heads still bowed and eyes still closed, nobody looking around, I believe tonight that there is somebody here for the very first time made a commitment to him, prayed that prayer tonight. And if you did that, would you share it with me by just raising your hand up right over your head? Just slip it right up and you can put it back down. And by doing that, saying, for the very first time, I made a commitment to Jesus Christ. Would you raise up your hand? Raise it up high right over your head. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Is there someone else that will do that?